Coming up on this edition of VCU InSight, VCU art students will have a new space to learn and create in 2015. Local fans question the move of the Redskins training camp to Richmond.
And with the upcoming November election, both parties are pushing for the Richmond Hispanic Vote. All that and more, VCU InSight starts now.
Hello and welcome to VCU InSight. I'm Amanda Dix.
And I'm Gabrielle Jackson. Thanks for joining us. Rape isn't a subject people are comfortable talking about, but that's why organizers of a recent demonstration want to change that. Sue Johnson is in the studio with one of Richmond's most eye-catching events yet. Sue?
Our state's capital has been a popular setting for demonstrations and protests for years. Along with gun rights protests and abortion rallies, Richmond can add its first ever Slut Walk to the list.
After hearing the word Slut Walk for the first time, it's not unusual for Richmond residents to be left with a few questions. Slut Walk Richmond organizer Helen Rogers was happy to answer them.
A slut walk is a movement to bring awareness to sexual assault and victim blaming.
It started last year in Toronto when at a personal security class, a local police officer said, quote, "Women should avoid dressing like sluts in order to not be victimized." This enraged women's rights groups who called it victim blaming. So they organized the first Slut Walk for last April. Since then, they've been in cities like London, Paris, and now Richmond.
It doesn't matter what you wear, that is never a basis for why somebody sexually assaults you.
This 2-mile march started in Monroe Park and ended here in Bird Park in front of Fountain Lake. Coordinators chose this location to represent a cleansing or shedding of one's past, which is exactly what many participants have done.
Like Sarah Boggs. She says volunteering with the Slut Walk is helping her heal after her rape 2 years ago. Her mother Connie says that it couldn't have happened at a better time.
I think she was really ready for the next stage in her healing, and that was to actually be able to speak out.
Kate Cook is the co-owner of S&K Awareness Jewelry.
My rapist was acquitted of all charges.
Today, she uses her business and her experiences to bring awareness to victim blaming.
I share my story so other people can understand that that kind of activity is not okay.
Even Rogers says she used this experience to help survivors like herself.
The reason I am doing it is because I'm a 2-time survivor.
Each of these women had different reasons for being here.
We need to keep raising our voices until this violence stops.
And until this need is met, stopping is what organizers say they will not do. For VCU InSight, I'm Sue Johnson.
Organizers say that the event was a success and that they're already looking forward to planning the Slut Walk for next year.
With the presidential election less than a month away, Democrats and Republicans are focusing their campaign on the Richmond Hispanic Vote. Unlike 2008, local Hispanic leaders are saying President Obama doesn't have this group locked up. InSight's Jay Powell has the story.
Richmond has seen a growth in its Hispanic population, and political parties are working to win their votes. According to the U.S. Census, the number of Hispanics in Virginia grew from less than 5% of the population in 2000 to nearly 8% in 2010. That's more than 600,000 people. In an effort to bring awareness to this growth, the Virginia State Department and the Richmond-based Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce organized a luncheon for local business owners, journalists, and political enthusiasts. Michelle Zazier, CEO and founder of the Virginia Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, recognizes the influence Hispanics have in the Richmond area.
A few thousand votes could determine who wins the election, and the Hispanic community could be that block that does that.
In 2008, Barack Obama won 67% of Hispanic voters. Some Hispanics say their feelings have changed for Obama since he didn't pass immigration reform like he promised. Legal immigration advocate Daniel Cortez believes President Obama will have to pay for those ill-fated promises.
In every community that I go to, people are upset with the president. Now, he's going to get a number of votes, no question about that. Will he get 60? No. Take that to the bank.
Though many Hispanics agree President Obama dropped the ball on immigration reform, Others, like local business owner Carlos Castro, say they're unfamiliar with the policies of Republican presidential nominee Mitt Romney.
We're not exactly clear of what his positions are.
For local Hispanic voters, both candidates' positions are under a microscope as the election gets closer. For VCU InSight, I'm Jay Powell.
The local Democratic Party says they hope to win Hispanic voters with issues like immigration reform. Republicans say they're focusing on the economy. Both parties are now using Spanish language commercials here in the Richmond area.
VCU Arts is getting a brand new building. Turns out they wanted one for a long time. And they say it'll be something to see. InSight's Zachary Holden has the story.
VCU's Pollock Building has been around for nearly 40 years and is one of the main buildings for the School of the Arts. In 2015, art students will have another building to call home. The Institute for Contemporary Art will be a 3-story building to showcase all aspects of the VCU School of the Arts. Thanks to generous donations, $8 million has been raised in the past 6 months. The school needs $12 million more before construction can begin. VCU art student Sarah Cross is excited for the impact the new building will have.
That'll draw people in to want to go to school here, and then artists to come speak here and show their work here and that kind of thing. So I think that's great.
The Institute will be built where today there's a VCU parking lot on the corner of Broad and Belvedere, directly across from the student housing.
I'm standing where the new building will be in 3 years. Right here will be the sculpture garden, facing campus.
The Institute will have classrooms, performance spaces, a cafe, and administrative offices. Dean of VCU School of the Arts, Joseph Seipel, is excited for the Class A accredited museum to open for the students and city as a whole.
This is really something that the city of Richmond deserves, our students deserve, and the artists around the world deserve.
Dean Seipel expects doors to open in 2015. For VCU InSight, I'm Zachary Holden.
The Institute will give artists, both local and visiting, a place to showcase their work. VCU hopes this translates to a national recognition.
Every 4 years, the best athletes in the world get the chance to compete in the Olympic Games. VCU's women's soccer coach had the opportunity to do just that. InSight's Scott Wyant is with her in the studio tonight.
I'm talking with VCU women's soccer co-head coach and Olympic gold medalist, Tiffany Roberts-Zahadak. Thanks for being here, Coach.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Coach, you've been at VCU now for 5 years, but you started out internationally. What was that kind of experience like, starting out at 16, joining the international pool?
Well, it was very surprising because I wasn't expecting to be on the national team at such a young age, but it's just an exciting team to be on, and very fortunate. I got the call up way earlier than I thought. I had dreams of being on the national team, but I didn't think it would happen that soon. So I was just really fortunate, and as soon as I got on there, I just wanted to do everything in my power to make sure I had a long-lasting career on the national team.
And how difficult was it to kind of go through playing high school ball and playing overseas and all those different places?
It was interesting. I mean, it's really not like a normal career where you're playing in your high school local matches and then you take off and go to Portugal for 10 days to play with your U.S. women's national team. So it was really fun. And again, I was really fortunate, but I loved the experience, and I loved being able to go back to my high school and share my experiences with my teammates. I had a really close relationship with my teammates in high school, as I did with the national team. Actually, my national team teammates, they were a little bit older than me, so they were my tutors on the road and great role models for me at such a young age.
And that would mean you would have graduated in '96, right, when the Olympics were taking place?
Yeah, actually I graduated in '95, but so I played in my first World Cup in '95, and I took off my last semester in high school to be able to train for that World Cup, and played in that summer in Sweden. And then '96 was after my freshman year at Carolina.
And what was that like, playing on home soil in Atlanta in the first women's soccer Olympic Games?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be the first time women's soccer was ever in the Olympics, because I would think it'd be a long time ago. But '96, first time in history for women's soccer in the Olympics, home soil, so lots of fans, family, friends. So it was just fun having all of our fans in the stadium. And it was the first time we had like 60,000 people in the stands too. So it was a big time for women's soccer.
And then the real big time for women's soccer comes in 1999. You played on that team as well in Pasadena. 90,000 fans for the final when you guys beat China, Brandy Chastain, as we all remember. What was that like?
Amazing, and we really didn't realize that was going to happen. The World Cup in '99, it was phenomenal and became a phenomenon. And I think in the very beginning stages, in our first match in New York, I don't remember exactly how many people, but I believe we had around 60, 70,000 people, and so we were shocked about that. And then just to see how it snowballed and became popular. David Letterman was talking to us and talking about us every night, and it really hit the public, and everyone fell in love with the team. And so, it was pretty crazy because we were not expecting that.
And how do you kind of use this going in recruiting now? VCU's having a successful year. How does this kind of help in recruiting aspects?
Well, I hope it would help in recruiting because I think that I have a different perspective than really any other coach out there. So I use my experiences as a player at the highest level to let recruits know that this is a very special, it's just a special environment that I was a part of. And so I use all those life lessons that I learned on the national team to recruit, but also teach our current team and tell them that, these are just life lessons that I don't think any other coach could really share with you from my experiences. So hopefully my experiences on the national team help separate me from the other coaches out there in the country.
And I've been speaking with Olympic gold medalist and VCU women's soccer co-head coach, Tiffany Sahay. Coach, thanks for dropping by.
Thank you.
In just about 3 years, Richmond will be on the international stage when it hosts a major sporting event. But just how prepared is the city for all that attention and all those people? InSight's Nightingale has the story.
With less than 3 years until the International Cycling Union Road World Championships arrive in Richmond, there's a lot to do and not so much time. Richmond 2015, a private campaign launched to help fund the race, estimates that roughly 450,000 tourists will visit the River City. With only 18,000 hotel rooms, limited parking, and insufficient public transportation, marketing expert Dave Saunders, who has reached out to help Richmond 2015, has concerns.
I think Richmond 2015 presents, on one hand, an enormous opportunity for the city, and also its greatest challenge to date.
According to an article published by RVA News early last month, the metro area has cut back on their initial proposed contributions. Richmond 2015 has set a $21.5 million budget.
Now here's another issue that will affect the actual race. Potholes, just like this one. They're all over the city on some of the busiest roads. Just one come 2015 and there'll be a huge mess.
VCU Bike Club member Chris Jones rides around the city daily. He loves riding the Main Street Hill downtown, but notes that it's in bad shape.
With the amount of potholes on it right now, it would not work. Too many guys would have pop tires and be crashing all over the place.
City officials and Richmond 2015 estimate the race could bring as much as $86 million to the area. Saunders says this could be Richmond's time to shine.
But I hope that when the cameras roll and we're on TV screens all across the world, that Richmond puts its best foot forward. And I think that at least it's past the discussion phase. We're in the do phase. It's time to do stuff.
And city officials know time is ticking. For VCU InSight, I'm Nicholas Nightingale.
The international cycling event will be in the U.S. and right here in Richmond for the first time since Colorado Springs hosted in 1986. The races are scheduled for September 2015.
The Washington Redskins are moving their training camp to the capital city. Some residents are voicing their concerns as to whether this will actually happen. InSight's Mike Curtis has more.
Without an NFL team of their own, the city of Richmond has long been considered Redskins territory. June 6th, Governor Bob McDonnell announced the collective decision to move the team's 3-week training camp to Richmond in 2013.
Do you think that's a good offense?
Greg Burton, host of Hardly Workin', a local sports talk radio show for ESPN 950, says some local residents approved the move while some remained hesitant.
People were concerned, well, is this really going to happen? Are we really going to get Redskins training camp? We don't have a site. Where's it going to be? There were so many questions.
Some of those questions have been answered, sort of. Richmond Mayor Dwight Jones announced that the future training camp sites have been narrowed down to City Stadium and a plot of government-owned land on West Lee Street. As you can see here at the proposed site on Lee Street, I have the Science Museum of Virginia behind me. If we look across the street here, we can see a portion of the 12-acre lot which the Redskins will most likely be holding training camp next summer. City officials have stated the goal is to have all the facilities completed by April 2013. Burton says he believes the Lee Street site will most likely be chosen, but time may be running short.
Have they broken ground yet? Not yet, and the clock's ticking.
Still, with some reservations, many Richmond residents, like Marcus Fontanez, wish to remain positive.
Since the Redskins are so close and a lot of people are Redskins fans, me, myself included, it'll be awesome to have them around.
Artist renderings have been released detailing the construction plans for the sites. And with potential crowds of 50,000 fans, logistical issues such as parking and accommodations must be worked out from now until next summer. For VCU InSight, I'm Mike Curtis.
The new deal brings the Redskins training camp to Richmond for 8 years. And you know, Amanda, even though I am an Eagles fan, I think this will be great for the city.
And as a Redskin fan, I am super excited about the move.
It may not be football, but the VCU Massey Cancer Center is busy organizing other events in the Richmond area. InSight's Martha Brickey is here tonight with a couple guests to tell us more.
Tonight I'm talking with Assistant Directors of Development Events at the VCU Massey Cancer Center, Lauren Kiger and Stephanie Jenks. They are planning events all month long to raise funds for breast cancer research at the center. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Lauren, can you tell me how the VCU Massey Cancer Center has been gearing up for and have been active in Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Sure. Well, Massey is our local cancer research facility and hospital, and so we do our best during Breast Cancer Awareness Month to really bring events to the community that are both fundraising as well as awareness and outreach. So we have probably over 20 events, I'd say, that really focus on bringing the community to a better understanding of breast cancer research as well as all women's cancers.
And Stephanie, I know that you're heading an event on the 18th. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and what the event entails?
Sure. It's our Saks Key to the Cure, and it takes place at Saks Fifth Avenue at Stony Point Fashion Park. It's an event we've done for 9 years now, and it's really fantastic. A private ticketed shopping event that has 15 area restaurants participating, so lots of great food and shopping and fun, including a silent auction and a fashion show.
Wow, so shoppers should really look into this event.
I would mark your calendars for next Thursday for sure.
And Lauren, you're also heading another event. Can you tell me more about that one? It's at the Country Club, right?
Sure. Yep. Pink Ribbons of Hope is a series of athletic and shopping events that we do throughout the month of October. And on the 22nd, that's our next upcoming event, and it's a bridge and mahjong tournament at the Country Club of Virginia, open to all area players, and it's just a great opportunity to come and play a good game and have a luncheon and have fun.
And I must ask, what is mahjong?
Mahjong is a Chinese game of chance and matching of tiles. And so it's kind of, I don't know, what would you compare it to? Almost like a gin rummy of games.
Wow, that sounds really fun.
Very competitive.
It is. It's very, very competitive.
Now, are you guys doing more than just fundraising events? Are you doing any awareness?
We do. We have a lot of our researchers and staff from Massey out there doing a lot of free events to really bring the research out to the community. A lot of people have trouble understanding exactly what we do and how we do it, so they do a wonderful job of breaking it down and really promoting a healthy lifestyle to really aid in prevention of cancer.
And now, how can people get involved in these events?
There's a whole variety of ways.
Fantastic website that I would really direct everyone to.
All of our events are posted on our website, which is massey.vcu.edu. And so we have a whole fundraising events tab. We also have a whole calendar of events for all of our outreach and awareness. So you can check all of those out there. There's listings in the newspapers and online.
We're also on Facebook. We are under Team Massey, so you can search for us there. We post about our events and reminders and post pictures afterwards.
And now, do you have any fundraising goals for at least Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Sure. Pink Ribbons of Hope, which is one series of events, will raise over $100,000 this year for breast cancer research alone. And when you combine the SACS event and a few of our other events that we do for women's cancers, we'll actually raise more than $300,000 for research this year.
So what kind of research are you all doing at the Cancer Center?
It really varies. One of the things that's really unique and special about Massey is that we do research on a molecular level, so it's based on the cell. So what we're learning right now is going to totally rewrite books in the future for our children. But some of the neat things that have been discovered, or the progress that's been made, is that one of our researchers, Dr. Douglas Arthur, was able to take a 6-week course of breast cancer radiation and boil it down to 2 days of treatment. So
wow, that's
a dramatic improvement to a
incredible.
patient's life. So we're really proud of that level of research and treatment that is being discovered at Massey.
Definitely. Well, I've been speaking with Lauren Kiger and Stephanie Jenks, the Assistant Directors of Development Events for the VCU Massey Cancer Center. Ladies, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having us.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and many groups in the Richmond area are creating newer ways to support the cause and raise awareness. This one comes with a beat. InSight's Manhattan Royal has more.
When it comes to fundraising, people usually think of bake sales or car washes. Now, there's an upbeat way to raise money by signing up for Zumba, an exercise program that mixes dance and aerobics. This Zumbathon at the Science Museum of Virginia brings the community together for breast cancer awareness and to help fund the VCU Adelante Scholarship. It combines Spanish dance with health education and social work opportunities.
Zumba is a fun, exciting event that everybody likes to do, including Latinos, and so we're excited to have everybody out here and benefit and have a really good cause.
Some came out to support the scholarships, while others joined for the fun of Zumba. However, for people like Elisa Norris, the event hit closer to home.
Another thing for the cause, Latinos for supporting cancer awareness and research. I know my mom has cancer. Well, she had cancer.
A nonprofit group that works in different states, Nueva Vida, helped sponsor the Zumbathon. They help under and uninsured Latina women suffering from breast cancer. The group's executive director, Larissa Caicedo, looks for active ways to spread awareness that caring for your health does not have to be boring.
As a way to show people that you can have fun, take care of your health, that you need to continue a healthy lifestyle, and that you can reduce the probability of getting many diseases.
All proceeds for Richmond Zumbathon will go toward Nueva Vida services for uninsured Latinas. The event will also help fund VCU's Adelante Scholarship, which helps increase the number of trained Richmond social workers. Kathy Patterson, an Adelante supporter, sees the benefits of having diverse social workers.
Having social workers that are bilingual or multilingual in different languages, not just Spanish, but to other languages, is really important to the clients that you serve.
Whether you want to perfect your rhythm or help the community, Zumbathon is the fundraiser that keeps everybody moving. For VCU InSight, I'm Manhattan Royal.
The group Nueva Vida plans to have 2 more Zumbathons this year to raise money for breast cancer research.
People spent their Saturdays slaying dragons in late September. No worries though. It was all for a good cause. InSight's Kathleen Stone has more on the story.
Like most 5Ks, this one started with a purpose and a goal: to slay the dragon known as leiomyosarcoma cancer. It's a rare cancerous tumor of smooth muscle cells that can arise almost anywhere in the body.
My dad was diagnosed with leiomyosarcoma in 2007, and that was our first year of doing this 5K.
This year marks the 6th annual Slay the Dragon race, which started here at Carter Park in Ashland, Virginia. This race is held in honor of those who have lost the battle to leiomyosarcoma and those who are still fighting. Hanover resident Brock Buchanan lost his father, Webb Buchanan, in October 2009. He has run the race every year since his father passed. He says his father had a way of making everyone around him light up.
Honestly, it was more seeing people out here who are like, you know, had the same cancer and like the same battles as my father, like out here like smiling and clapping and, you know, for like a morning, like not thinking about the cancer.
Audrey Farley traveled from Denver, Colorado to run this race.
To slay the dragon, and I said, I'm coming this year, so here we are.
Farley was diagnosed with leiomyosarcoma in 2004. For her, this race is a step towards feeling better.
It felt good because I've been doing treatment recently, and
just to finish something was great.
Farley says that a lot of the time she feels alone. She says she was thankful for all of the support and understanding at this race.
So much more often, and that people actually can understand what it is. So to be with people who know what it is, who've had it, who've survived is wonderful.
After the race, all of the families, friends, and loved ones gathered around, cheering each other on and showing their support. Organizers say that more than 300 ran or walked the race this year. Everyone had a different reason for running, but everyone was able to relate to one another. For VCU InSight, I'm Kathleen Stone.
All the proceeds from this year's race go to the National Leiomyosarcoma Foundation. Over the last 3 years, the Dragon 5K raised more than $45,000.
And finally tonight, VCU says it's committed to staying green.
Students have taken up the task and are taking their work into the community. InSight's Brittany Tilley has the story.
Rachel Elves is a grad student at VCU and is on the Green Unity leadership team. This student group works with the VCU Center for Environmental Studies to make Richmond greener through research and service. Elves saw potential in Union Hill and is using her connections to bring students and other volunteers out to help.
And then we're going to go and plant a pear tree, and if we have time, some blueberry bushes, and then we also have some daylilies and mums and garlic.
The event takes place almost every Sunday in the fall and is to, as Elves puts it, beautify the street and provide low-cost, nutritious food for all the neighbors.
And so it's really all about getting all the neighbors connected, talking to each other, just getting involved in the community and giving back.
Stephen Satolino looks like he's a professional, but he's actually a first-timer. He says that he enjoys gardening, but this is a project for any student because
being out during the day after a night of drinking, it's always fun.
the Union Hill Community Garden Project is in its third year of planting. The project began with donations of just soil and plants. It's a lot of digging, but it's worth it in the end. After around 5 hours of work, the project was complete. But Elves says the best part of the project is yet to come. With time, water, and sun, the trees will produce fruit. They're laboring as a community and then enjoying as neighbors. For VCU InSight, I'm Brittany Tilley.
The Green Unity team will meet on November 7th in the Lyric Student Center on the MCV campus.
And that's going to do it for this edition of VCU InSight.
Make sure to check us out online at insight.vcu.edu. Thanks for watching. I'm Amanda Dix.
And I'm Gabrielle Jackson. We'll see you next time.